for today, I'm going to be making an easy American Pale Ale. I'm going to actually be keeping it pretty simple, but I do want to kind of give it a festive kind of a twist. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be adding a sweetener or a sugar called panela. Panelo. Correct me in the comments. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna toss it in here in the boil, but I'm not gonna just toss it in right away, because if you guys know Piloncillo, it is super dense, and if I just drop it in, it's gonna hit the bottom, and that heating element sits right under the bottom plate, so it's definitely gonna scorch. So we don't want to do that. So if you try this recipe, do not just dump in Piloncillo. It'll scorch, and it might, I don't know, it could damage the unit maybe. Maybe even a boil over, quite possible. We don't want that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna melt it down first. Once it gets into like a little syrupy paste, then we're gonna dump it in there. I'm not gonna filter or anything like that. I kind of want to keep those little flavors that hopefully linger there for the aftertaste of the beer. What I'm also gonna do is I'm going to shave it off in a cooking pan, put it in the oven, let it caramelize just a little bit, then boil it down again and feed it to my fermenter. All right, so we're at mass temperature, so I'm gonna get ready to pour in all my grain. And for my grain, I did a single mill grain. I milled it once. I have been thinking about milling it twice. I'm not too familiar how the diameter, the thickness, but I have been hearing that double milling could improve my efficiency. Can always compensate with a little more grain, so I think I'll be set for now. But maybe I might do a comparison with the same recipe. That's about it. One thing I really like about this, the unrefined, is it's actually pretty cold to the touch. So I think it's like double plated stainless steel. So everything is looking good. I'm gonna check the pH in about like 10 minutes. So I'll set the timer for myself for 10 minutes. And then we'll come back in 10 and see if where that pH is at. Alright, so I measured my pH and it's right now at 6.2, if you can see it. 6.2 something, 6.27. It's still going down, but slowly, so I'm probably gonna just do like a little cupful of lactic acid here. So it's typically what I do. It drops it down, and you don't need much, so I think that should be enough.
And that's when I noticed I had a problem. So I immediately turned off my pump, and I noticed that I had a stuck mash. So I went with my wooden spoon, and I started mixing all the water around, try to open up all the pathways so it can start draining. It did take a little bit of a while to drain completely, but overall it wasn't too bad. It just needed to take some time and clear up some more pathways so it can drain a little bit more better. And then we were set.
I'm gonna raise it to 170, so I can do a mash out. And I'm gonna start draining.
And I also started heating up some water in my kettle to do a sparge. I've been doing about a gallon of sparging for all my brews lately. And so I heated up water to 170 to start extracting all those sugars that might be left over. And for the hops addition at the 60-minute mark, this recipe calls for Cascade, and then at 15 minutes, some Willamette, and 5 minutes, I actually put an allspice berry in there.
Put a little bit of firm cap in there. So if you guys hear the background noise, is a church right next to us, so that's what that is. If you've been wondering this whole time. We got some Willamette, 0.5 ounces, 15 minutes to the boil. There we go. And I'm gonna start cooling this down. I gotta start setting everything up.
I got my chiller, my coil chiller set up. We're almost at flameout. Alright, so I got my wort chilled, and now I'm gonna transfer it over to my fermentation keg. Already rinsed it out with some star sand, so it should be good to go. I'm gonna tilt it. I don't want to make too many bubbles. I was able to get it down to 71, so I'm happy with that. Oh, that's perfect. I'm gonna pitch that yeast. Here we go. That US05. I'm ready for that Piloncillo edition here that we're gonna do. It is super full. It is super full. I'm gonna put this thing before it gets too crazy. Yep, it is gonna get crazy. It definitely is gonna get crazy. So I'm just gonna put it all in there. All right, so I got it all cleaned up. We're kind of good to go. I think I finished at 0.41 or 2. This is the one that I'm gonna actually introduce some Piloncillo. So that's gonna definitely increase it, but that's a good start off point. And it finally finished off. I want to say it's 1.09. It looks like.
All right, it is my favorite part, taste day. We got the American Pale Ale that we added some Piloncillo into it to give it a little twist. So it came out actually super clear, and it's got a really nice head on there. Okay, let's go in there for the smell. Definitely getting that caramelly smell. Yeah. So for this one, I wasn't able to add the Piloncillo into the boil. I didn't have like a heating element there, so I couldn't do that and then add it and let it boil off for another hour. I'm sure that would have just added to it. So man, I definitely missed that opportunity. So let's see what else we can get out of this. Definitely smells like a little warmy, cinnamony smell. But let's go in for the taste. Had to go in there for a big taste. I did not want to spill it. Okay, so yeah, let's go do that again. Okay, I can definitely taste like the like a little bit of a molassy kind of a taste. It is definitely giving me the caramelly taste. It is really good. And that just makes me wonder what else I can sweeten up sugar with, either in the boiling process or in the fermentation process. You know, maybe honey, maybe, I don't know, maple syrup or something like that, something crazy. But it's super delicious, super drinkable. Would I do it again? I would probably, yes, but maybe add a little bit more of the Piloncillo in it, because I think it could have been a little bit more richer in there. But all right, till the next one, keep brewing. Salud.